Hi everyone and welcome to our newest edition of the E&I Alumni Talks. I am here with Jessie today. She is co-founder of WeBorn, and I'm super excited that you took the time today to share some of your experiences with our students, so thank you so much for that. Maybe you can start introducing yourself as a first step.
Thanks, first of all, for inviting me, for finding me on LinkedIn, and then messaging me right away. So yes, my name is Jessie. I'm the co-founder of WeBorn, as you said, together with Katharina. I founded this about a year ago. We started thinking about the concept, and then we opened about 3 months ago. And what WeBorn actually is a social recovery club, as we call it. So it's a health and wellness club where it's all about recharging your batteries and about connecting with yourself and others. And we do that through 75-minute guided group classes, through sauna and ice baths. The ice baths are actually the first commercially legal ice baths in Austria that we built.
Oh,
and
wow.
They're way colder than any thermal spa cold plunges. So that was, a little bit of a difficult situation to build that. That's what we do. And then regarding me and how I came there, I studied the bachelor's degree at WU, and then also did E&I there and Unternehmensführung as the specializations or majors. Then I went on to study SEMS in Vienna and Copenhagen. And then I actually went into a corporate organization, being Procter & Gamble. So very huge company. And I did a lot of shave care, hair care, and then laundry care there, and started at a key account manager in Vienna, and then went to Frankfurt for strategy.
Cool.
And throughout this whole journey, I worked together with Katharina, and I met her there. And then at some point we decided that maybe there's another way for us and something else that we want to do and another path we want to take. And that's when we started thinking about a concept. And just as I learned in E&I as well, whatever you start with will not be the final product.
Yeah.
So it took a while, and then we quit there and actually took the steps to start WeBorn in Vienna.
Awesome. That sounds really cool. You kind of already hinted at it, but how has E&I and your background from our specialization influenced you in your decisions and like in your journey with WeBorn?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, E&I teaches you, or taught me, to be courageous and just go out and do it in a way. Teaching that innovation, or like also comparing it kind of to the US scheme, where when you innovate and it goes wrong, well, it went wrong and you start again. It's not like you have to be punished for any mistakes or anything like we sometimes live it in Austria. So I think this was one of the biggest learnings. I think other two learnings that really helped me were to not innovate away from the customer. So not just like think about your needs, and then that's what you do and what you innovate. And then you're pretty sure that everybody else wants that and needs that. So we really tried to be very customer centric. We had a lot of question circles with customers and customers to be before we started. And also now we're very much at the studio still. I'm guiding a lot of the classes. I'm there all the time talking to customers to see what feedback they have, what they would change, what they think is good and not, so that we can actually get the product to be, or the service to be, really customer centric and what they want and not what we want. So this is, I think, one of the second thing. Then another thing where it has influenced me is that actually resistance, as we talked before as well, is something completely normal when you innovate and bring something new to the market. And I have a funny story about that, I think. So like after 2 weeks of opening or something, there was a journalist in my class from Der Standard. And afterwards she asked me, so I was just here for private reasons, but is it okay for you to, if I write about it? And I was like, well, of course. Like, we just opened. I was like, yes, one of the biggest newspapers is writing about us. And so she published that article on the, like, online. And within 3 hours, there were like 300, 400, 500 comments. Most of them bashing comments, like,
classic.
Why a sauna with bathing suits, and like go back to the USA and don't be so prude and whatever. That was a point in time where I thought back about E&I, where I was like, okay, you're bringing something new that people don't know like this before, and there is going to be resistance. And I think first it was good to be prepared about that, and then second, in that moment, I also felt like, okay, that's fine. It's not my target group. So also the target grouping and stuff that we also did at E&I, I think has really helped me. I think one more thing where it really influenced me and my life, actually, E&I, was really something personal more in that way, because I found a lot of very good friends at E&I. They are still some of my closest friends, and that I talk to when I have problems at the company or when I face challenges, and I can ask them. One is a controlling head somewhere already, and then the other one is also founder, and somebody's a consultant. So it was really good to get that network out of there. And I think this was one of the most important influences that I got from E&I, that social circle and the super smart and ambitious and helpful friends group.
The community, right?
Yes. Yeah. And even the community, even even beyond those close friends, you know, so many people that are founding here and there, and they share different challenges, and you can talk to them. And that's really a cool thing. Yeah.
Awesome. And it brings you back to our community today and kind of like, you know, sharing your experiences with the current students, which actually brings me to my next question. Which advice would you give today's E&I students? Regarding founding.
Yes. So regarding founding, I would say first, if you have an idea and you're not sure if you want to do it, maybe it's not the right idea yet. You will feel it when it's the right idea in a way, and then just do it. Try it. And there I would say preparation is key. But in a way, I'm also a fan of 80-20. Prepare 80%. Try it very fast, fail fast. I think that's also something we learned at E&I, like build your MVP, try fast, fail fast, and then redo it again. It's also what we now do in the company. Kind of, I tell them, okay, try your concept, the class concept, 80%, and then we do it again.
Yeah.
So for the E&I students today, I would say try fast, fail fast. And the second, I would say really focus on the customers. So when you're founding, listen to them. Even if you don't want to hear it, listen to them, okay? They are going to be your customers. And I think regarding E&I, just take that community that you can out of it, because that will also later help you in founding. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing. And then one other thing, yes, be prepared, but also be prepared that it comes completely different than you think. So sometimes you're like perfectly prepared. You think you have your finances under control, and then some law comes along or whatever, and it's all messed up. And then just be okay with dealing with those challenges, with those changes all the time. It's really a roller coaster ride.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I have one last question. If you could go back in time, a couple years back when you were an E&I student yourself, what advice would you give your younger self?
So the first one, be punctual for the core lecture tests, because I was not punctual once, and I realized, okay, he means what he says. You're not going to get in.
No, you're not.
No jokes aside, I would probably say not to stress so much about the tests, because I think there is a lot of pressure and stress about all the tests and checkups that you have. And yes, they're important. But then again, honestly, try and take the stress out. You're probably going to be better at even answering the questions without too much stress. And if it happens that once you fail, then you just don't get the points. And I'm not sure if everybody wants to hear that here, but
fail fast again, just like you said before.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience and some good advice with our students. And your younger self. I hope she hears it. So thank you so much for being with us today. It was a blast.
Thank you too. Thanks for inviting me, and see you soon again.
Awesome.